It is really the meanest level. They said. This kind of minister is the lowest of the low ranks. Hence, he can only look after horses. Take the case of your honor, who, since your arrival, have been so diligent in discharging your duties. If the horses are fattened, you will only earn yourself a fairly good. If they look at all thin, you will be roundly rebuked. And if they are seriously hurt or wounded, you will be prosecuted and fined. When the Monkey King heard this, fire leapt up from his heart. So that's the contempt they have for Old Monkey. He cried angrily, gnashing his teeth. At the Flower Fruit Mountain, I was honored as king and patriarch. How dare they trick me into coming to look after horses for them, if horse tending is such a menial service, reserved only for the young and lowly? Is such treatment worthy of me? I'm quitting. I'm quitting. I'm leaving right now. With a crash, he kicked over his official desk and took the treasure out of his ear. One wave of his hand, and it had the thickness of a rice bowl. Delivering blows in all directions, he fought his way out of the imperial stables and went straight to the South Heaven Gate. The various celestial guardians, knowing that he had been officially appointed a Banhorse Plague, did not dare stop him and allowed him to fight his way out of the Heaven Gate. In a moment, he lowered the direction of his cloud and returned to the Flower Fruit Mountain. The four mighty commanders were seen drilling troops with the monster kings of various caves. Little ones. This Monkey King cried in a loud voice. Old Monkey has returned. The flock of monkeys all came to kowtow and received him into the depths of the cave dwelling. As the Monkey King ascended his throne, they busily prepared a banquet to welcome him. Receive our congratulations, great king. They said. Having gone to the region above for more than 10 years, you must be returning in success and glory. I have been away for only half a month. Said the Monkey King. How can it be more than 10 years? Great king. Said the various monkeys. You are not aware of time and season when you are in heaven. One day in heaven above is equal to a year on earth. May we ask the great king what ministerial appointment he received? Don't mention that. Don't mention that. Said the Monkey King, waving his hand. It embarrasses me to death. That Jade Emperor does not know how to use talent. Seeing the features of Old Monkey, he appointed me to something called the Banhorse Plague, which actually means taking care of horses for him. It's a job too low even to be classified. I didn't know this when I first assumed my duties, and so I managed to have some fun at the imperial stables. But when I asked my colleagues today, I discovered what a degraded position it was. I was so furious that I knocked over the banquet they were giving me and rejected the title. That's why I came back down. Welcome back. Said the various monkeys. Welcome back. Our great king can be the sovereign of this blessed cave dwelling with the greatest honor and happiness. Why should he go away to be someone's stable boy? Little ones. They cried. Send up the wine quickly and cheer up our great king. As they were drinking wine and conversing happily, someone came to report. Great king, there are 2 one-horned demon kings outside who want to see you. Show them in. Said the Monkey King. The demon kings straightened out their attire, ran into the cave, and prostrated themselves. Why did you want to see me? Asked the handsome Monkey King. We have long heard that the great king is receptive to talents. Said the demon kings. But we had no reason to request your audience. Now we learn that our great king has received a divine appointment and has returned in success and glory. We have come, therefore, to present the great king with a red and yellow robe for his celebration. If you are not disdainful of the uncouth and the lowly and are willing to receive us plebeians, we shall serve you as dogs or as horses. Highly pleased, the Monkey King put on the red and yellow robe while the rest of them lined up joyfully and did homage. He then appointed the demon kings to be the vanguard commanders, marshals of the forward regiments. After expressing their thanks, the demon kings asked again. Since our great king was in heaven for a long time, may we ask what kind of appointment he received? The Jade Emperor belittles the talented. said the Monkey King. "He only made me something called the Ban Horse Plague." Hearing this, the Demon Kings said again, "Great King has such divine powers. Why should you take care of horses for him? What is there to stop you from assuming the rank of the great sage equal to heaven?" When the Monkey King heard these words, he could not conceal his delight, shouting repeatedly, "Bravo! Bravo! Make me a banner immediately." He ordered the 4 mighty commanders, and inscribe on it in large letters, "The great sage equal to heaven." Erect a pole to hang it on. From now on, address me only as the great sage equal to heaven, and the title Great King will no longer be permitted. The monster kings of the various caves will also be informed so that it will be known to all. Of this we shall speak no further. We now refer to the Jade Emperor, who held court the next day. The celestial master Zheng was seen leading the deputy and the assistant of the imperial stables to come before the Vermilion courtyard. "Your Majesty," they said, prostrating themselves. The newly appointed Ban Horse Plague, Sun Wukong, objected to his rank as being too low and left the heavenly palace yesterday in rebellion. Meanwhile, the Devaraja Vairu, Haka, leading the various celestial guardians from the South Heaven Gate, also made the report. The Ban Horse Plague, for reasons unknown to us, has walked out of the Heaven Gate. When the Jade Emperor heard this, he made the proclamation, "Let the 2 divine commanders and their followers return to their duties. We shall send forth celestial soldiers to capture this monster." From among the ranks, Devaraja Li, who was the pagoda bearer, and his 3rd prince Na-A came forward and presented their request, saying, "Your Majesty, though your humble subjects are not gifted, we await your authorization to subdue this monster." Delighted, the Jade Emperor appointed pagoda bearer, Devaraja Li Jing, to be Grand Marshal for subduing the monster, and promoted 3rd Prince Na-A to be the great deity in charge of the 3-platform assembly of the saints. They were to lead an expeditionary force at once for the region below. Devaraja Li and Na-A kowtowed to take leave and went back to their own mansion. After reviewing the troops and their captains and lieutenants, they appointed Mighty Spirit God to be vanward commander, the Fish Belly General to bring up the rear, and the General of the Yak as to urge the troops on. In a moment they left by the South Heaven Gate and went straight to the Flower Fruit Mountain. A level piece of land was selected for encampment, and the order was then given to the Mighty Spirit God to provoke battle. Having received his order and having buckled and knotted his armor properly, the Mighty Spirit God grasped his spreading flower axe and came to the Water Curtain Cave. There in front of the cave he saw a great mob of monsters, all of them wolves, insects, tigers, leopards, and the like. They were all jumping and growling, brandishing their swords and waving their spears. "Damnable beasts!" shouted the Mighty Spirit God. "Hurry and tell the Ban Horse Plague that I, a great general from heaven, have by the authorization of the Jade Emperor come to subdue him. Tell him to come out quickly and surrender, lest all of you be annihilated." Running pell-mell into the cave, those monsters shouted the report. "Disaster! Disaster! What sort of disaster?" asked the Monkey King. "There's a celestial warrior outside," said the monsters, "who claims the title of an imperial envoy. He says he came by the holy decree of the Jade Emperor to subdue you, and he orders you to go out quickly and surrender, lest we lose our lives." Hearing this, the Monkey King commanded, "Get my battle dress." He quickly donned his red gold cap, pulled on his yellow gold cuirass, slipped on his cloud-treading shoes, and seized the compliant golden hooped rod. He led the crowd outside and set them up in battle formation. The Mighty Spirit God opened wide his eyes and stared at this magnificent Monkey King. The gold cuirass worn on his body was brilliant and bright. The gold cap on his head also glistened in the light. In his hands was a staff, the golden hooped rod. That well became the cloud-treading shoes on his feet. His eyes glowered strangely like burning stars. Hanging past his shoulders were 2 ears, forked and hard. His remarkable body knew many ways of change. and his voice resounded like bells and chimes. This ban horse plague with beaked mouth and gaping teeth, aimed high to be the equal to heaven's sage, lawless ape. The mighty spirit god roared powerfully. Do you recognize me? When the great sage heard these words, he asked quickly, what sort of dull-witted deity are you? Old Monkey has yet to meet you. State your name at once. Fraudulent Simeon, cried the mighty spirit. What do you mean? You don't recognize me. I am the celestial general of mighty spirit, the vanward commander and subordinate to Devaraja Li, the pagoda bearer from the divine Empyrean. I have come by the imperial decree of the Jade Emperor to receive your submission. Strip yourself of your apparel immediately and yield to the heavenly grace, so that this mountainful of creatures can avoid execution. If you dare but utter half a no, you will be reduced to powder in seconds. When the Monkey King heard those words, he was filled with anger. Reckless simpleton, he cried. Stop bragging and wagging your tongue. I would have killed you with one stroke of my rod, but then I would have no one to communicate my message. So, I'll spare your life for the moment.